I am alive. This is Neil on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. I assume Mr. Celeste Osmium. Uh, hmm. Yeah, that's it. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Because it's better than being a jerk. Hold on a second. I am totally not prepared. Uh, let's see. Playback, videos. Totally unprepared. I had 3 minutes to get prepared and I dropped the ball. Here we go. I need to set these videos. I edit. This is all freaking live. So when I screw up, but chinga banga, you guys get it. You guys get it firsthand. So anyhow, no one's here, so it doesn't matter. Oh, cool. I just finished fucking up. So whoever just showed up, you didn't see it. Cool. I'm going to share this right here, that right there, that right there, that right there, and we're going to go live.
Released by Tulsi Gabbard last Friday night don't just demonstrate Barack Obama's coup d'etat against the newly elected president of the United States. The decisions made then led straight to the current war in Ukraine and the destruction of the critical thinking abilities of over half the United States population. While the media tried to mute Gabbard's explosive disclosures, saying they were old news and typical Trump revenge, many Trump supporters downplayed them also, insisting that no one will ever be held to account. Both are dead wrong. DNI Gabbard has gone right to the top, to the president who sold us out, to the deep state, more properly known as the modern British financial empire. If her investigation proceeds as I think it will, the world will be changed forever by the events of the next couple of weeks. I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've covered every aspect of the coup against Donald Trump from 2016.
Financially, I'm doing like shit. I was supposed to have gone to a pin ceremony for my union where I should have gotten my 20-year pin. And I found out they only have me down as having 14 years, which means they've been screwing me on my retirement, which I was looking to get at the end of this year. So financially, I'm doing shitty. Other than that, I'm doing great, though. Thanks for asking.
Forward. The documents Tulsi Gabbard released Friday night are a major blow against the deep state, which will be followed by more releases this next few weeks. Today, I'm going to first revisit the critical months of December 2016 and January 2017.
Yeah, I'm throwing this out there because everyone was talking about no one would ever be held accountable. I've heard for years, oh, the deep state, no one's going to go to jail, blah, 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 blah. Well, here we go.
And show exact motion that.
I agree.
A color revolution here and a war against Russia in which millions have been killed. Then I'm going to highlight key events in the march to Joe Biden's election. Finally, I'll review the first 6 months of Donald Trump's second administration. But before I start, if you haven't already, please go to the Promethean Action website and subscribe. Lots of you are tuning in and appreciating what we do, but haven't subscribed. Don't you think it's time to turn those favorable comments into a sub? Come on, let's just do it. Tulsi Gabbard's Friday disclosure showed that the United States intelligence community did not believe that Russia stole the 2016 election for Donald Trump. They had been illegally investigating this claim, which came from British intelligence, using every illegal trick possible. But they came up empty. They tore up the Constitution to elect Hillary, but she lost, and now it was possible everyone involved would go to jail. So Obama, at a December 9th meeting with all his intelligence and military chiefs, said, let's manufacture the evidence to support Clinton's big lie about Trump and Russia. But they did much more than even that. They ordered up a color revolution against the incoming Trump presidency, using the total censorship and psychological warfare strategies first developed in their 2014 coup against the duly elected president of Ukraine. These tactics aimed at inducing people to behave in the way the psychological warfare experts want were developed by the British military and by contractors for Hillary Clinton's State Department and NATO. They are called full spectrum information warfare. The combined use of total censorship and 24/7 offensive propaganda, supplemented by scripted riots, street violence, and social chaos. That's what the MI6 agent Christopher Steele was expert at, and why he spent more time with Victoria Nuland at the State Department than the FBI. That's why President Trump recognizes our media as the enemy of the people. That's why Tulsi Gabbard says they're in every institution of the government. Right after the election, the Washington Post kicked off the censorship campaign, targeting any journalist with neutral views on Russia for censorship. Journalist cells operating through the British military's Integrity Initiative went to work on the propaganda campaign. President Obama froze all diplomatic relations with Russia. When Trump tried to speak with Putin, the media assault was deafening. Once Biden got in, the British war plan against Russia went into full operation. On the same day, December 9th, that Obama ordered a new official intelligence assessment to support these laws, Times and Washington Post published that assessment's conclusion based on obvious CIA leaks before it had even been fully constructed.
If your A1C is high, do not ignore this video.
Oh my God, I have to ignore that video.
Now let's go to the road to 2020's election. The game plan for subverting the first Trump administration and electing Joe Biden was laid out by a woman named Rosa Brooks, speaking on behalf of the deep state on January 30th, 2017, in a Foreign Policy magazine article. She said Trump based on a phony criminal investigation or manufactured scandal. If that doesn't work, we'll get his cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment. And if none of that works, we'll stage a coup. She was involved and followed through on all of that. The coup, set on its final stage by the 2020 election and the installation of the Joe Biden as president, was meant to end our sovereignty forever, absorbing us into the globalist world order. Trump's first impeachment came into being right after the phony Mueller investigation crashed and burned. His witch hunt bankrupted, criminally prosecuted, and jailed key Trump supporters while deeply corrupting our courts. The impeachment was based on Trump questioning why the United States was arming Ukraine, what was Ukraine's role in Russiagate, and what was Joe Biden's corrupt deals in that country when he became its viceroy after the Ukraine coup. All of the been directly involved in the 2014 Ukraine coup. Then came COVID and the George Floyd riots, and a censorship and continuing psychological warfare attack on both the president and the population, which would carry through to the many lost all trust in medicine, science, and our government, and lost all ability to think critically. If you want to learn more about this, I'm posting on our website this week, emphasizing the roles of the Transition Integrity Project, the Democratic Party's insurrection campaign, and what has been called the Censorship Industrial Project, and all of their relationship to the British Imperial Empire. Now, you'll see, based on Trump's actual policies, why they did all of this. 6 months in, the physical transformation into a sovereign nation again is proceeding. We're pursuing new inventions at the frontiers of science while building manufacturing and industrial superpower. The new Trump wanted to do this, and that's why they launched the coup. But our controlled media side warriors don't want you to discuss and learn about Trump's American system economic revolution. Instead, they want you debating about a Bade birthday card with Trump's name on it sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. Trump's tariffs have produced $100 billion in new direct revenue, and those tariffs, together with tax incentives favoring new plants and equipment, have sparked a flood of new reshored manufacturing and industrial building in the United States. Major new big energy projects featuring advanced nuclear power and natural gas and clean coal are underway, while the feudal wind and solar boondoggle has been ended. New mines are opening up, as is lumber production in our native forests. At the same time, vocational trade training is being put on a fast track to upskill our workers for tomorrow at wages which will allow families to thrive. We have a shortage of skilled workers presently, and that's not because we are deporting unskilled immigrants.
Dude, we have a shortage of steel workers because I've been a steel worker for 33 years, and the government's been killing our freaking union and our industry for years. That's why we have less than 20% of the iron workers that when I started 33 years ago. We have 20% of that number now, and they are fucking us left, right, and center.
It's because prior administration sought a post-industrial society. So the labor force in manufacturing and agriculture is in transition, with deportations ending wage suppression and automation pushing forward to raise productivity. This week, Trump will announce tariffs on pharmaceuticals, ending our deadly dependence on the Chinese and other offshore production of vital medicines. The initial plans for an advance
100%, Attila. And dollar cost, the inflation change, all this other crap. Union iron workers are lowest skilled union labor out there. We make $6 an hour more than laborers. Apprenticeship. We have a 5-year apprenticeship, and we just got a raise. We were only making $3 more than them an hour, and the carpenters are making like $15 more an hour, $20 to $25 more an hour than we are. They have shit on the American steel industry.
advanced missile defense for the United States are on a fast track, creating the basis to end the regime of nuclear terror, which has dominated the world since Hiroshima. Otherwise, Trump is focused on ending the forever wars because you can't have prosperity and trade without peace. Taking down the deep state, I can't emphasize enough how important it was to end USAID, which was where the CIA used funders like George Soros to run the foreign regime change schemes. Just last week, the Defense Department pulled all of its speakers out of the Aspen Security Forum, a globalist haven, and they said so. They don't allow anybody from the Defense Department to participate in an event that, quote, promotes the evil of globalism, disdain for our great country, and hatred for the President of the United States. So it looks to me like Tulsi Gabbard and the DOJ, in setting out to build a conspiracy case covering everything our traitors have done in the past 10 years, are also on the road to finally draining that pernicious swamp that has stunk up Washington, D.C. for decades now. So you see, there's a lot more features to this story than the media has bothered to report to you, and I'll be filling them in on my posts on the Promethean Action website this week. Find the real story and the truth and tell it, hoping that inspires all the patriots listening to expand their horizons and educate themselves. We aspire to the level of thinking of our founders. That's why we can ensure, if we do that, that we'll win. Again, we need to expand. We'll be doing a live show with myself and Susan to answer your questions on the 31st. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when it will air and how you can participate.
Well, there you go, my good boys and girls. What do you think about that crap? Here's some other good crap. This is some real cool crap.
Going on with shipping.
Oh, no way.
Look at that, dumbass. That big ship's not moving. How the hell did that happen? How the hell could a dumbass do that? That's a big ol' ass ship, and they just rammed into it. And their engines are still on. Fucking bananas.
San Diego Harbor Police on 16. We just had a hatter hit the side of the Midway.
The USS Midway and the motor yacht Offshore get involved in a collision. I'm your host, Sal Mercogliano. Welcome to today's episode. So this is going to be one of the strangest recaps we do of an accident on the high seas ever. This is involving a motor yacht, the Offshore, in San Diego Harbor on July 18th. And they struck the aircraft carrier USS Midway. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Midway is a moored museum ship. She has been at the same berth since 2004. So there's a little bit going on with this story. If you're new to the channel, hey, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so be alerted about new videos as they come out. So as we get into this story, first, I want to thank the crew over at the San Diego webcam, Barry and all the personnel over there. They do a great job of capturing what is happening in and around the harbor of San Diego. They have their site on Twitter, but they also have this great YouTube channel. I strongly recommend everybody go over and subscribe to them. The crew at San Diego webcam catch the daily operations in and around the harbor, not just Navy ships, but commercial vessels. It's a great view of what happens daily in the harbor. I will say that they have been a magnificent assistance to my channel. Back when we covered the near collision between the USS Momsen and the USS Harper's Ferry, this was captured by the San Diego webcam. I did several videos on it, and I did a most recent one on the report that came out about that collision. I should also note that that incident in particularly is taught up at Newport, Rhode Island, where the surface warfare officers go for their training. That exact incident is used as a textbook operation for what to do in case of a near collision, which nearly happened. I will also mention that Barry and the crew at San Diego webcam have gotten quite a bit of harassment from NCIS. No, not Mark Harmon and the crew of the TV show. I'm talking about the actual NCIS, the Navy Criminal Investigative Service, who have aimed to try to shut down part of the San Diego webcam. Now, this is open source information. You can go to the harbor and see ships coming in and out. People do it every day. There are boats. I mean, you have your ring door camera set up. But for some reason, NCIS thinks that Barry is releasing that San Diego webcam targets their cameras so as not to show particular information. They're just showing the movements in and around the harbor. They're not showing things around the sub base, for example. They're not showing things particularly at certain areas of the air base at North Island. So if you have an opportunity, go check them out. They're a great source, and I strongly recommend them. I'm a big supporter of the channel. All right, let's get into this story. Now, the Fox 5 affiliate over in San Diego had this story: private boat crashes into USS Midway, captain arrested for hit and run. And that is the captain of the motor yacht offshore, not the captain of the USS Midway. As I read this story, I'm going to have the San Diego webcam image up here of the incident. There you can see motor yacht offshore coming in to hit the port side of the USS Midway. You lose it behind the image there. But that was the moment when the vessel struck the Midway. So this is the story posted over by Fox 5. San Diego Harbor Police have confirmed that a private pleasure craft collided with the USS Midway museum ship, that's her there, CV-41, Friday afternoon, causing an estimated $100,000 in damage to the historic vessel. What? The incident occurred, they're saying, just before 2 p.m. on July 8th, but the San Diego webcam image has it right before noon on July 18th, near the Embarcadero. According to authorities, the boat struck the hull of the USS Midway, denting the side of the decommissioned aircraft carrier, which now serves as a museum and popular San Diego webcam, which offers live streaming webcam views of downtown San Diego, and the bay from multiple cameras captured the moment the collision occurred. Harbor Police, and this is them rolling into the area right here, say the captain of the private vessel fled the scene but was later located and arrested. It's hard the area when you've been seen by multiple people on board the vessel and photographed and posted onto social media. Story goes on. He is facing charges of hit and suspected of operating a boat under the influence, hence the title of the video, Ship-Faced. The story goes on. No injuries were reported, and the USS Midway remained open to the public following the incident. An investigation into the collision remains ongoing. There you can see the motor vessel offshore here. She anchored out in the harbor. You can see a San Diego Harbor Police boat coming into the area to board the vessel.
Man, this shit's just crazy. How do you hit an aircraft carrier? I don't know. Apparently you can, though. Drink enough tequila, and that big ship becomes a little ship. At least last time your eyes were open. So what do you think about the Obama conspiracy thing? No, I haven't been that drunk either, Attila. You really got to be drunk to hit an aircraft carrier. I mean, especially if it's docked at that. I mean, moving out in the sea, give you a little bit. Docked? Come on, man. Mm-hmm. He had it on autopilot. Ooh, straight. He probably woke up during the collision. So you guys want to start a betting pool on how many politicians are going to go to jail over this Obama thing? 2016, almost 10 years ago. Wow. It's taken a long time. Taking too long. A lot of people don't talk to me because I'm a nut, because I said, hey, we just had a coup, bro. Our government's been taken over. And next thing you know, oh, it's Neil. Take him off the caller list. Put it on Do Not Answer. Oh, well. It probably will be in the hundreds. There's already, I mentioned something a couple live streams ago. There was 3 local politicians in Pennsylvania were arrested for election fraud on a mayor's level. And they were using the same technique of corruption to grab the election illegally. So they're already catching the low-hanging fruit, and they're going up. So they got the top, and then getting the low-hanging fruit. It's a squeeze. Oh, and Obama, I'm pretty sure he would enjoy their company as well, Jay. You know, be nice with Mike and all. And he got a strong Muslim Brotherhood in jail, so he'll be protected. Because somebody brought in a lot of Islamic law into our politics during his administration. Big Mike will have to go with him, so that way they both can fucking enjoy the same treatment, in my opinion. Man, these cats. I have some smelly good freaking toilet paper for the cats. Kitty there, every time they scratch it, it's supposed to make it smell good. So this kittens, they'll use the bathroom, and then they'll scratch on the plastic, jump out, and the smell of their shit's up in the air until I get in there and have to freaking cover it for them. Potty training. It's a hard lesson. What's up, Jeffro? But yeah, there's going to be a lot of things happening over these next couple months. And another reason why I brought this all to you is it's a good thing that it's going to be happening. It's a good thing people are going to go to jail. It's also the best time in the world for them to do money moves while you're paying attention to all this political jailing thing. Because it just so happens at this point in history, there's a lot of things going on with money that you need to keep your eye on. And this is a story that, I'm going to take your eye off the ball. And I don't want to see that happen to anyone. I'd rather see you guys keep your eye on the ball and make money, because whatever's going to happen, you can read about it in a week. It ain't going to change what is happening. You don't have to be the first one to know about it. There's enough YouTubers. I'll probably do some shows on it. But keep your eye on the money prize. Whatever asset class you're looking at, stocks, crypto, precious metals, they're all moving. They're fixing, there's a good possibility they're going to go shh and then back up. But there's a couple schools of thought on that. I'm kind of on board with the school of thought of 2029. 2020 will probably be the big crash, but I don't know. I could be wrong. This could be just a little minor drop of 20% or something, and then fucking off the races for a couple of years. We shall see. But there's definitely going to be more black swans thrown out there, or look over here events, because if you stay on top of the asset class that you're interested in and you stay well informed and do your own research on it, I think you probably agree that whatever you've chosen as an asset class to invest in has a potential to boom big time, no matter what it is. I mean, the ones I'm into, I just tell you the ones I'm into. It doesn't mean those are the only ones that are going to jump. There's going to be a crap load. I just concentrate on a few. I got a few crypto, a few stocks, and then platinum, silver, and crystallized osmium. Yeah, Jeff, I kind of see it that way. Attila, pretty much, brother. And yeah, Jeff Bro. But yeah, we all see the same page on this channel. That's probably why I don't have a lot of people on the channel, because there's not that many smart motherfuckers out there. And we all come from other walks of life, so it's obviously not a knowledge-based thing as far as with economics or finance or anything like that. The things have happened in the past 10 years that have caught the right type of individual's attention to begin to investigate what's going on, and we're all just the cream floating to the top right now. And that's not a bad thing. What's a bad thing is everyone's not coming up. Let's see. I had a cool quote. There it is. In a controversy, the instant we feel anger, we have already ceased striving for truth and have begun striving for ourselves. When you're in a confrontation, verbal confrontation with someone, a controversy, anger, you lost. That's why I like that. It brings me down to reality when I hear it. Melt up phase. Yeah. Put the ice cream in the freaking refrigerator, or else you're going to have a milkshake. Milkshakes aren't bad. I like milkshakes. Get some chocolate chip cookies and crush them up, stick them in the milkshake. Then you got chocolate chip cookie milkshake. All because of a melt up and the outside temperature of economics and finance. Damn it, Daryl. 5 demerits for Gryffindor. What's up, brother? It's all right, man. There's no mandatory crap, man. It is what it is. Gee whiz. But thank you for showing up this one. Too bad you missed the videos I showed on topic discussions. If you go back and look at the first probably 15 minutes, you'll get them. It's basically, we started off with another YouTube show called The Promethean, talking about Obama's treason. And actually, if you listen to words are very important. Tulsi Gabbard actually used the word treasonous actions. That's one step shy of treason, treasonous actions. What that means is she let the President Obama off the hook, but every one of the subordinates is going to get fucked. Hopefully. Surfing with the dude. Let me tell you what, bro. I was only in Hawaii for like a month. It was all of December 2019. And man, oh yeah, I know all about the birth certificate. He was born in a foreign country. And also, if you look at his college financing, when he got financing, he applied for a student loan as a foreigner, which is a felony if he's born in America to be able to be a president. So if he's born in America and becomes president and got a foreign aid student loan, that's a felony. Qualifies you from being president, because you can't be president if you're a felon. But anyhow, back to the other story. I wish to hell Tulsi Gabbard would have been out there teaching surf lessons when I was in Hawaii, because I would have taken surfing lessons from her. But your point was much more entertaining than mine. Although it would really be cool to be up against her. No, I didn't get it right. Get back on top of me and show me how to paddle again, girl. Let me turn around. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, there are a couple people, Daryl, that remembered Obama in college having a boyfriend named Michael. Just saying. Attila. Kenya. That's where his family's at. I actually, for several years of my life, was very, very heavily in depth in research into Africa, because I was going to go over there and deploy my mobile apiary project and bee fencing system. And for about 4 years, I did heavy studies on that area. Became friends with a couple people over there in Kenya and in Zambia. Yeah, right, Daryl. Mike. His college boyfriend. This is a cigarette. I'm rolling my own cigarettes. I don't smoke joints. I smoke this with weed, because when you shut the top, it goes out and it doesn't waste money. Weed is very expensive. Cigarettes are cheap comparatively. Well, that's why they covered up, Jade. That's why they covered up the birth certificate and the college transcript when he applied for student loan as a foreigner. You cannot get a hold of that information. It was also, there's this black Olympic swimmer that ended up dead teaching Michelle swimming lessons. Try to buy some premium what, Chad? Damn, when you roll your own cigarettes, it goes out a lot. Looks like a joint. It hit it. Well, Daryl, if you think about the British intelligence, all of it can be fake, but it still happened. So we have to sort out the facts from the fake, because the whole past 10 years has been a psyop against the American people. He ain't got that much. What he could do is he can narc out everyone who put him up to it. And that would crush the imperialistic financial control over our nation. Probably cause a war, too. The better thing to do would be to divert everyone's attention and get rid of income tax 100%. So that way, when you work for your paycheck, you get 100% of it instead of 70% of it. And that would take everyone's mind off of shit while we deal with this problem. Yeah, that just like that, Jeffro, the chef. And then it even goes further back than that. And I have qualms with the Clintons. They went through, close to 30 military liaison bodyguards during their 8-year tenure. That's about 5 of the healthiest, medically proven healthiest Americans in the country go to serve as liaison bodyguards for the Clintons. And 5 of them a year for 8 years just end up dead. No one else gave a fuck. I still remember. Then we have the whole Benghazi thing. Then we go back to Bush. Oh, God, yeah. No. Woo. Trust me, dudes. Obama's not going to jail. Because he probably has information on George. What's up, Gerald? Yeah, there's 6 of us now. You're here. According to my thingy up here. And oh, there's 7 now. 8 if you include Ginger. Huh, Ginger? Yeah, she's we'll call it 7.5 because she's not big enough to be an 8. We're down to 6. I must have scared you. Scared someone off, Ginger. I'll blame the cat. But yeah, I can guarantee you with the information and the availability they had to pull this off, they know what George Bush did. So, and that means Obama knows, and that means he's not going to jail. Because if you unwrap this conspiracy too much, you're going to expose every president's bullshit that they did all the way Carter before. I mean, Nixon, Kennedy, fucking, it goes way back. How peel the fucking onion is the question. Sweet, Daryl. And we actually have a new, I wish I could take this outside and show you. 2 blocks down the road that I'm on, 2 blocks down, there's now 12 RVs. And they don't look like new ones. They're junkyards and restored, but people are living in them on the streets right down the road, emptying out their gray water on the streets because I've seen turds on the road. So yeah, the economy's not good out here, and people aren't taking animals. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing dogs now running the streets. I haven't seen that in years. Daryl, you might have a point, Daryl. Pepper Ridge Farms, remember? Yeah, a lot of people remember. And so the accountability will never truly come. But what will have to happen is we will have to live life and keep going forward. And we also not only look for the accountability, which will actually never come. What's up, Tom? It'll never come through fruition as far as the conspiracies go, the years back and whatnot. The laws will not be changed that they made. I mean, we'd have to restart America. And that's possible because it's been proven that he was an unconstitutional president, and the following ones same except for Trump. Man, we're looking at executive order changes, multiple trillions of dollars. Fucking, you cannot unravel that. You just have to take the whole thing, baby bathwater, throw it out, and start again. Constitution, along with the amendments, making changes for the modern times. And even that would be, wow. So I don't know how this is going to work out. What I do know is the head honchos will get jail. We will get the cronyisms. We'll get the. I'll be happy if we. I'll be blessed to see the 52 congressmen who, I think it was the 118th Congress, who voted to abolish the Constitution of the United States of America when they took an oath to protect and defend that exact thing. They're still walking free. So there's a lot of accountability, guys. A lot of it. I'll be happy if those guys just get caught, because that way it'll show other supposed AOEs and all those other people that when they go in there, they better fucking stay to the oath of office and not go radical lunatic shit. Because you're allowed to run for office in America. Yes, free America. But you're not allowed to run as a communist. Because as soon as you take that oath of office, you have to uphold the Constitution. So how can you be a socialist, a fucking communist, a neo-Nazi, or anything else and lawfully take office? You can't. So America obviously isn't free to all ideas, yet we were forced to have the support of a couple presidents who are illegal. Yeah. Joy, what's up, Joy? This is 100% true. True, Joy. That's why I'm glad I have a platform like the Economic Ninja, like close to 600,000 subscribers, 500,000, something like that. Now, as his moderator, and he allows it. I told him to be his moderator. I was like, I've got to have freedom to do certain things, and one of them is to be able to put God bless America and everyone here, be kind, helpful, and grateful, and buy silver, platinum, crystallized osmium, along with the like, share, and subscribe, which is typical for any channel. But I made sure he allowed me to do that because I wanted to make sure as many people as possible get to see the God bless America part. And with the platform of over 500,000 people compared to my 5,000, I was it's as far as promoting Christ, but it's a bigger platform to have people think about it because they see it daily, a couple times a day, saying, hey, there's a moderator saying God bless America and everyone here. And just by them saying it, so there's different psychological ways to do things other than, go out in a corner and read the Bible and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways that God calls different people to his calling, and we reach different people through different means. But I 100% agree with you. You have to have Jesus or you have nothing. And also Economic Ninja fucking says so on his channel. He prays, And he's selling himself too. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's an entrepreneur. You do things. Ford, Ferrari sold himself. Tesla, Elon Musk, selling himself. It's just what they do. That's just what you do. That's how you get money. But your intent, whether it's evil or good, as you do that, is what matters. And a lot of those people are evil. Ninja is not. Not perfect either, but he's trying to help people make money. And right now, people make money. And invest properly in what's coming in the future. Not just make money, but take advantage of possible Berkshire Hathaways of the future. How do you know it's going to be a Berkshire Hathaway before it becomes a Berkshire Hathaway? Well, Berkshire Hathaway was $5 at one time. How did everyone know it was going to be stock split 3 times? Now the original shares are worth $50,000. Who the hell knew? But everyone wants to buy it at $5. So to have that mental block unlocked, you got to look for things that you see is going to be the future and invest in them when they're $5. Unfortunately, that's unable to do that because that time has passed for the sector that I'm looking at that I guarantee for the next 20 to 30 years will be a leading category in the market. And that's the energy sector. And that's nuclear, nano, and micro, and small modular reactor. Nano, they don't have yet. They'll come out with that. Micro and small modular reactors. They're going to come out. They've got those going, and that's going to change everything. And a couple of my shows, like a year ago, last year, China started building 300 coal power plants. And I was like, yeah, we need to catch up because this Green New Deal shit's killing us, driving us in the exact opposite direction, and they're going to take over the energy sector of the world. That is why the Nuclear Regulatory Agency, for the first time in history, was ordered to fast track all nuclear projects brought to them. Make sure they're compliant and everything, but don't slow roll it because they've been slow rolling nuclear for 20 years. It took 20 years, 15 to 20 years to build anything nuclear. Now, OKLO went to Idaho 8 months ago, working hand in hand with the Nuclear Regulatory Agency. They got approval 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they sold their first micro nuclear reactor to an Air Force base in Alaska. Last week, they contracted with Kiewit to build that micro nuclear reactor. So they got approval. Next week, they sold one. The week after that, they contracted someone to build the one they already sold. How big a sector do you think that's going to be? I did a show yesterday about Hawaii and their need for micronuclear reactor. By the way that their power grid is set up, they are in desperate need of them, and they will buy a lot. they're going to be for sale now. Air Force already bought one. Kiewit's been contracted to build it. It'll take like a month or two to build it. And the stock went, and when I started talking about them, they were like 20 something. They're like damn near 70. I didn't start talking about them. I think it was May. They were like in the 20s. Matter of fact, let's take a look at this. I'll be able to tell you for sure. Hold on a second here. There we go. OKLO stock. Okay, I'm going to share screen here. Sorry. That's very rude of me. But I have to see the screen. All right. Okay, there we go. So now let me go back here where I can see this shit. And go back. Let's go max. When was I talking about it? Sometime in May, April, May. Yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, around 28. So it was like May 9th because this caught my attention right here. It was like, what the hell? And I started looking at it, started going down. It's like, let me see. Let me pay attention to this. And I started telling people about it right around here. Now look where it's at. It was like at 20, 24 something, 25. Now it's up to 67 or 62.51. And it's only going to go upward and onwards. Again, if you look at this chart, since it was $10, $9, $9.99, you could have bought, should have bought, would have bought, could have bought, should have bought, should have bought. Damn sure should have bought. Damn sure should have bought. Because right now, if you'd have bought then, you'd be so well off up here. But I started telling people back right here about May 9th when it's 27, 26, 25, somewhere around here. So it's only going to go up, people. I hate to tell you. It's got no direction to go but upwards and onwards. What's up, Rebecca? It's going to keep going up. Even Trump himself, the EPA admin guy, Saudi, and I did a show on this, Saudi Arabia. Oh, we're going to join BRICS. And everyone's like, go BRICS, go BRICS. I was like, no, they're not. They're not going to join. They're going to stick with America, and we're going to control the energy sector of the world. A couple months later, they're like, nah, we don't want to join BRICS. Trump goes over there. They have more American flags in Saudi Arabia than I've ever seen on American soil. They're just like kissing his booty, woody, retooty, and come back, and they're like, no, we're signing on with America. Boom. Solidified. The energy sector of the world's ownership is America. Then nuclear, nano-nuclear and micro-nuclear, not nano, my bad, I'm sorry. Micro-nuclear and small modular reactors start coming out, getting fast-tracked first time ever. What do you think is going to be the leader for the next 25 years in the stock market? The energy sector. So back to Berkshire Hathaway. What's the next Berkshire Hathaway? Well, it's not going to be OKLO because they're not set up right. NNE. That will be the next one in my unprofessional, non-financial advice opinion. NNE stock chart. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like crap, but this is a time to buy. Again, I apologize. I got to see my screen here so I can share. NNE, share screen. Okay, yeah, it looks shitty right now. But that's because they're reinvesting and they're going for other approvals. Let's go for max. See, they started out $4 or $5, and they jumped up to 28. I started talking about these guys. Well, yeah, right around here. Right around here. And then they took that big jump. I told Gerald about them. They were about right here. And then it took that big jump to 45. And now they're back down to 34. The reason for that, but see, they've only been around, this is year to date. They've only been around since May. They've been around for 14, 15 months. And they're already up to that number there. And the last show I did, I told you guys they're diversifying their company, the base foundation of their company. They're splitting into fuel delivery for these reactors. Even for OKLO will be hiring nano-nuclear to move their fuel cells around. So OKLO is spiking now, but long-term NNE is going to be there because OKLO and all these others are going to use NNE for fuel transport. They're also looking at space operations for nuclear. What do they got? The creation of the fuel system itself, because you can't take old nuclear rods and use it. So they got a company. In other words, they got 5 different companies that have to do with the nuclear space. That's new because of the micro and small modular reactors, and they're locking all that up, as well as building 2 styles of micronuclear reactor, to where OKLO has only got 1. But because of the excitement of OKLO's launch and the newness of micro reactors, their stock's flying. NNE stock will skyrocket past them long term. That's why I feel that it is the Berkshire Hathaway of the future. Oh, you guys can't see me. What do you mean you can't see me? You can't see me. John Cena, sorry, had to do it. Let's see what I got here. Go to live. See if I can see myself. Nope, I can see myself. Something's going on here. Something's going on. Damn, YouTube bastards. They fucking with me again. Damn it. I'm kidding. Nah, actually, they are fucking with me. That's no big deal. It's all good now. That's because you brought it to my attention, and I got my cat. I got my assassin cat right here. She's sleeping right now because she's real busy at night. And I was going to sick her on Google. Magic Moon, what's up, brother? Oh, you didn't see the share screen. Wow, okay. That is bizarre because I'm actually on YouTube Studios. I'm not on StreamYard. So they must have done something because I went to their share screen. Interesting. Well, anyhow, I was showing the stock price of OKLO, and it's up to like 60, and I was showing the stock price and chart of NNE to show you that basically the stock price of OKLO is twice that of NNE. But in the long run, that's going to invert because the way new markets roll, the guy, it's like at a track and field race. You got a 2-mile run. The guy who sprints out of the starting gate, he ain't gonna win 9 out of 10 times. So don't bet on him to win. Bet on him to be the first one to make the first lap or something like that. But don't bet on him to win. It's probably not going to happen. The guy who's in second or third, who's at a real good, strong pace, will have what's left in the last quarter to kick it in and pass that son bitch long term. Same thing with business. Gerald, I blame my share screen failure on you. Ooh, Ninja Cat woke up. Watch out, bro. Ooh, Ninja Assassin Kitty K. She chases all the cats around. She's Big Mama. She Big Mama. Of course, she's also twice as big as all the other cats. Well, that's because they don't want me telling you about NNE because it's going to be such a good stock to invest in now. Not only that, I'm almost positive that they will be. I haven't researched enough to see if their great goal is to pay dividends. So I cannot say they will pay dividends, but by God, they should be paying dividends. And at $33 a share, I know it's expensive, but $340 get you 10 shares. Well worth it. Well worth it. You know, if they start paying $5 a share, at least you get $50 a year. Take you 6 years, get your money back. 7th year, you'll get your money back. And then it's a free stock for you. It's perspective. Some stocks you buy to make money off of. Some stocks you buy to make a income off of. And some stocks you just buy because you like them. I like looking at stocks that are going to make money and stocks that are going to pay dividends. Now, it's a different gameplay when you get to crypto. Crypto is a different gameplay. You can stake during the halving, but after the halving, you can't stake. So that's the same as dividends. Pays a lot higher, but it doesn't go for long term. So you look at crypto, you got to have a different perspective of investing because it's a different class of investing. It's a new class, volatile market, lots of ups and downs. it's very dependent on market, kind of like gold, silver, and Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, platinum. Gold runs and silver sprints, and that's the known saying. And it's the same with the market cap of Bitcoin and dominance. It goes up. All the other players don't have the capital to rise. As soon as the dominance of the BTC goes down, all the other smaller or altcoins go up. So then you got to look at the platforms that those altcoins are operating off of. So you look at like Ethereum, for example, since it's a big one, and you see what it's going to do. And then you say, okay, well, if it's going to do good, theoretically, every project launched off of the Ethereum network should even do better. Because the higher up, like I think Ethereum's like 3,000 now. If it goes to 30,000, that's only 10x. But the altcoins that are launched off the Ethereum network could 100x. So the same as a stock, the smaller you get, the more percentage profit gain there is. And then when you look for the bigger stocks or cryptos, they usually somehow have an advantage in the stock market. It would be dividend payouts. The crypto market's still new, not that well regulated, but eventually I imagine that they also will do some sort of a dividend, of not calling it a dividend, but a payout for long-term hodling or diamond handing. Let's see what's going on here. Nope, the first share screen. Okay, I already read that. It was the Knights that say knee. Hey, Magic Moon. Tom Gerald saying hi to everyone. Right on. Platinum jumps. Is Platinum jumping right now? It's going to jump to like $7,000. You heard it here. It's like 17th. Oh, no. It still lives. And it's going to live. And see, the people don't realize this. They do realize it, but they haven't put it together. And they're still happy about ETFs. When ETFs come out, price suppression begins. You want true price action? Get rid of the paper. Get rid of paper BTC. Get rid of paper silver. Get rid of paper platinum. Then you have a more true price. You add paper into it. Now you've got price suppression. Whoever's got the most money can sell or buy to drive the price up or down. So the physical holders have absolutely no fucking say. Kind of risky. In my personal opinion. I'm wrong quite a bit. Yeah, right. Well, there is a possibility. I see a pathway of them holding silver down until some new tech rolls out. Because there is new tech running out. And solar panels, the photovoltaics with that use about 20 grams of silver per solar panel. And that's a major use of silver industrial-wise. The new panels don't use silver. So I could see a pathway where the solar companies have lobbied to have whoever controls the silver price keep it down until they shift over. Thank you, Jay. $14.56 is the price of platinum right now, or the ask price. They're going to probably, and this happens more than you would care to believe, to help, along with other people that want the price down, suppressed. The solar panel companies are probably on board with that as well until the technology the rollout of technology advances the new style of solar panel. It's not photovoltaic. The new solar panels right now, the photovoltaic cell, it's like your eyeball. You see a certain range of color, and that's it. And the photovoltaic solar cell draws energy just from the light spectrum of your eyeball. The lights, the spectrum of the rainbow, that light, any of that light that comes through, it gathers energy off of. The new solar cells grab infrared and ultraviolet, and that doubles the amount of energy that they can get from light. And that technology does not require silver. That much I know. $1 over spot. Wow, Gerald, cool. Yeah, so they're not buying silver at a high price, are they? Yeah, took in 500, and the guy gave him $500 profit. Actually, he probably lost money because when he bought that monster box of 500, he probably paid more than $1 over spot for him. So the guy that held that silver for however long lost money when he sold it. And that's a damn shame. But that's the risk factor of the PM market, which is one good reason why I say don't stay in just one market asset class, especially one that doesn't fucking have a bull market except for every 45 years. Holy cow. You better not bitch about that fucking market, that asset class. Everyone's in silver and gold knows that it runs every 45 years as the bull market, and the bull market lasts for an average of 8 to 10 years. So if you're going to buy into a fucking asset class that doesn't go up for another 30 years, don't bitch about the price for 30 years. So everyone bitching about the price of gold and silver. You don't know what you're in. You didn't know what you got in when you got in. Sucks being you. On buybacks, Jay. Yeah, on buybacks, they don't give you your premium back that you paid. They'll charge 4 over spot, but they'll only pay 1. It's the nature of business. Again, that's why that asset class of metals is not quick gain, percentage gain asset class. You want a quick gain, percentage gain asset class, you go to crypto and probably penny stocks in the stock market. Well, the premium fluctuates with the stock, with the spot price, because the spot price goes. I was watching, actually, I got a, what was that? Hold on, let me check. I think I saved it. Bookmarks. Show all bookmarks. No. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I saved this fucker. Yeah, I did. I'll be some bitch. Okay. Let's see. Now I got to do it again to share screen because I have to see this little button here to share screen, but it'll be a short-lived. What do you guys think about that? First day of issue struck at Philadelphia. Limited emergency mint. Let's see the top here. Coin Advisor, value education, whatever. Another tremendous value from Coin Advisor. Emergency production. First day issue struck at the Philadelphia Mint. 495,000. This one says it's a 2021 P. If they just struck them, it's not 2021. I believe that's the last time they made them and what it looks like. And then it says there, you call there. This is an exclusive low mint emergency production Silver Eagle while they last. Unexpected low mintage subset. What do you guys think of that? Holy cow, my camera went away. There it is. What's up with my legs? I've got on space age long johns and jeans that are tore up. And I got these on. And see, that's the jean. And actually, this patch here, shit. This patch here, I used when I was welding heavy, I would take old jeans that were tore up and I would use shoe glue, and I'd cut up the jeans and I'd glue them over, because also on this leg, this one's tore as well. And I also have some right here glued on, because as a welder, when you get down like this, that's kind of sort of first place it gets tore up with slag or sparks, and it burns, and it burns through jeans pretty damn good. and I don't like buying jeans every fucking week. So I would tear one pair up and repair 4, and then I'd keep repairing those 4 off of that one until I had to use one of those 4 to be used to repair others. I also know I was known for years because I got sick of buying fucking work boots because I was doing decking, and decking is some sharp ass shit. And some, you use your feet to hold it up, and my boots would get sliced around the toe area, and I'd have to buy like 1 pair of boots a month. I was like, fuck that, that's too expensive. So I'd take duct tape, and I'd wrap duct tape around the end of it. Yeah, retreads, exactly. Retread my jeans, make them last. But I was known for several years. Actually, they had safety people come up to me and say, Neil, you got to buy a new set of boots. We can't let you on the job. You got too much duct tape wrapped on your boots. Because I'd have the duct tape wrapped around the toe of the boot, because that's where most of the time would be on the top part of the toe. So I'd wrap duct tape on it, and they said it was bad for grip and traction. And I was like, well, let me go off the job and you get someone else to spread it. And they were like, no, we'll let you stay and spread it, but we just want you to get a new pair of boots, because no one spreads deck. And my little scrawny ass. Matter of fact, there's 2 16 stories coming up. They're going to hire me to spread the deck. 57. Fucking kids these days are weaklings. And I'll probably have to spread the deck on 2 high-rise buildings like I always do. That's why I'm a high-rise specialist. Done more high-rises than any iron worker in America. Not all of them, obviously. The ones that are still working. I'm sure there's, during the heyday, 40s and 50s, there was a couple of guys out there probably that did more high-rises than me. I've done like 16, 20-story or higher. These 2 coming up, 16 stories, will be the smallest high-rises I've done. But people get freaked out with heights because decking is 20, 24, 30 foot long, 3 foot wide. And when you pick it up, if the wind blows, well, it's a kite. And it goes like this. And if you're on a 4-inch piece of iron and you do that number, it scares the believing Jesus out of a lot of people, and they end up quitting. So it takes a special kind of lunatic to do decking. And this lunatic's done decking 30 years. So I'm a special kind of lunatic. I've done other shit. I've connected. I've done bolt up, plumb up. I've done it all. Except for rebar. And solar panels. That's new. Never done solar panels. But anyhow. Any other subjects you guys want to talk about? Toes worn out of boots? No, they weren't worn out. They were cut. No, there's no reason to be afraid of heights. If you're afraid of heights, you've already killed yourself mentally, because how tall you are is how high you'll be above your solid footing, no matter how high up in the air you are, unless you're skydiving. If you're in a plane, the only thing you control is what your feet are on. If you're on a beam 500 foot up in the air, just concentrate on that beam, because once you could start concentrating on that open 500 foot, that's where your foot's going to be. So don't think about it. Just do your job. It's no big deal. And it's kind of exciting when the wind does blow and it catches you and your anal canal puckers. It's Magic Moon. Yeah, he's really excited about that one. But I'll let you in on a little secret. I know how Ninja works. I know his brain. This one here, if you missed out on DIA, load up on that sumbitch right there. That's the one you want to load up on. Because Ninja will tell you about it. And if he doesn't talk about it for a while, you're supposed to load up on it. What's up, Kevin? And that's what people don't get. And they start bitching on his show. Oh, well, you told us to do this a month or so ago and haven't said anything. He's sitting there going, you're an idiot. I'm telling you not to rush the price up. So why would I keep talking about it? But he can't say that. Now he has to say it because too many people don't get it. But if he talks about a project and then doesn't talk about it for a while, just keep buying it. Trust me, you'll be very fucking happy you did. I know how his brain works. So if he quits talking about ZBC or XCN, it's not because it's bad. Because he didn't want the fucking market cap to rise so much. And it took a first bump. Then it'll take another. Then it'll take another. Then it'll take another. Normal progression. Normal progressions stay high. Fast booms come down fast. Girl. I wish I could highlight comments, Joy. I just read what you wrote. No offense, hon. I can almost guarantee I got more injuries than you, and that doesn't matter. Sans Pierre. Fear nothing, because fear is the mind killer. And if your mind's not in it, don't put your body out there, because it'll pay the price. So that's what fear is. It's a distraction from getting shit done. And it's a distraction that you make appear. It's not unless there's an actual freaking zombie with his fucking half his jaw hanging out saying, I want brains, and he's there in front of you. Don't worry about zombies. That's the theory. And it's very, very valid. Fear is the mind killer. Sans Pierre. Fear nothing. That's a good principle to have. Not saying if someone's wielding a knife, jump in front of him. That's not what I'm saying. That is a dangerous situation. What I'm saying is, yeah, it is what it is, Joy Calhoun. Not everyone's made the same way. And that's why we invest differently. And that's why some people are maximists in one asset class. And some people aren't. Some people are maximists in another asset class. Because everyone's different. If we were all the same, this would be a boring world. Trust me, I was in the military. They made us all cut our hair. We all looked the same, different heights, different weights, but we're all bald and we were in camo for like 60 days in a row, fucking in boot camp. They tried that shit. It's a psychological breakdown. It doesn't work. We're all individuals, and it's better that we are, in my opinion. What's up, Deplorable? Yeah, confrontations are lack of intellect. You should be able to have avoided a confrontation before it was allowed to get to the point where you knew it would come to a confrontation. And intellect has a lot to do with that. You'd be able to have to read the person, read the scenario, read the situation. If you're in a bar, fuck, it's that's your fault. your likelihood of getting into arguments is a lot higher at a bar. So, you're in control. You make a choice. Here's another good saying I like. Life is full of choices and decisions. Choose wisely. Because you might find yourself at a nice place with a good person having a good time, or you might find yourself with that same good person in a bad place and have to go fucking testify at court. That fucks up your whole fucking week, don't it? You see, there's, it's like walking down the street, make a left turn, this happens, make a right turn, that happens. Until you make that turn, you don't know what happens. So think about it. Think about it. Brain eating zombies. Nicholas safe. Yeah, I'll use nickel as a shield. No, stay back. Well, that's a good saying, Deplorable Hulk, and it's very true. Yeah, excuses are like asshole. Everyone has them, and they all stink. Indeed. Another good one is arguing with stupid is stupid. And here's another one. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And if you're gonna be stupid, if you're gonna be stupid, you gotta be tough. Choose wisely. It's all back to choices. Choices and decisions. Choose wisely. I also like saying to argue with stupid is stupid. It's a very true statement. Another one, something like, don't get in a debate with someone who doesn't have the mental capacity to understand different people have different perspectives. That's a good one. Because if you can't accept that people have a different perspective than you, no one should be talking to you about shit. Cleaning out the bowl before I repack it. I like clean hits. Yeah, I've found that a solitary life leads to a lot of pleasures in not having to deal with stupid. Because all you got to do is go back on your property and shut the door. Yeah, you keep believing what you want to believe. See you later. Bye. And that's the best way to handle most situations. And the smart people will want to still intermingle with you. Yeah, maintenance break. Now a word from our sponsors. MJNA. This is not financial advice, and that's not something that I'm giving here. I don't give financial advice. I just give good advice. There's a difference. If I gave financial advice, I'd look like Kramer. I'd probably have his bank account, though. As funny as that guy is, and his quote-unquote advice, he still makes a lot of money to deceive people. But he makes a lot of money. I'd rather make money. I'd rather see you guys make money until I can get some money to make money. And that's why, back to my original point, when I started this, I have a list of certain stocks and certain cryptos. Oh, you ain't kidding, Joy. They are a big-time trip. They are a big-time trip. You can see all kinds of stuff. But when I started this video, what was I going to say? I don't recall. Let's go to door ring cameras. I actually saw a pit bull. There's a kid, a little small kid, probably 4 years old, out on a tricycle in his front yard, doorbell camera out there. And there was a truck, and you could see by the doorbell camera across the street, this dog came out from the yard and was running, and you could tell it was going behind, and you could just, you had the feeling it was going for the kid, right? Even though it was behind the car at that point in time. And then you see this big fluff ball come in from in front of the truck that was there. And then you see the pit bull come running towards the kid who had his back on the trike going away from the pit bull. And you just see this big fluff ball hit that dog. And that dog turned around and ran. And that big fluff ball was a cat. I got 17 of them bastards. Here's one of them. And there's another one right there. And there's about 15 somewhere around here. Yeah, them cats, man. If they love you and something's going to fuck you up. I have a Southside cat. It's cool as shit. I see attack maneuvers from these cats, and they're different perspectives on how they attack in play and whatnot. And there's this black cat outside. He's got the perfect attack for cat. He gets on his front or back two legs and starts walking forward, spreads his front two with 5 claws, and starts doing this number, showing his teeth. How can a dog with only a mouth compare to that? Cats are so much more vicious and dangerous. Yep. Sorry. Cat story. Sorry, Gerald. Yeah, no free fries. I must have. You entered the room, and I didn't want to give away any free fries. No free fries. That's why I do kitty cat shorts, because man, these guys give me so many laughs as I'm doing my studies and research and whatever else the hell else I'm doing. And they all have unique jumps. Each one jumps differently too. Each cat is unique. But yeah, I'll be getting some work hopefully before the end of this year. And I'm finding houses are still getting cheaper, so that's cool. Found another one for $110,000. $110,000. Monthly payment was $667. My early retirement would cover that and the electric bill. And it's going to be cheaper soon. Seen one of my little babies jump off the bed, take one claw, grab the claw as he's in the middle of the air, takes the claw, it spins him around, he releases, and he falls straight down, all to attack one of his brothers. Most gymnastic move I've seen from a 3.5-month-old kitten in my freaking life. I was busting a nut laughing. You take care, Deplorable. Thank you for being here, brother. Yeah, these guys were born, 3 of them were born the first week of April. The other 5 were born the second week of April. So May, June, July. They're 13 weeks, 14 weeks, 13 weeks. But they are up for adoption. If anyone wants to come out here and get them. I've got them. They'll be great cats. They love it. They love belly rubs. They're not freaky. I'm breaking them in right. They'll be timid, lovable cats, unless provoked. Amen to that, Joy. Amen. So I got out of the way the subject I wanted to talk about. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it as a distraction, which is actually good. But be prepared for the next couple weeks for perp walks. And perp walks will probably be distractions, although good ones, still distractions from other things going on. And what's most important is to keep an eye on your money and the prize. And the prize is to be wealthy so that you can do good things for more people, because you can't do that without money. You can do a lot of that with money. Well, there's a lot of different perspectives to that, Daryl. A lot of different perspectives to all this stuff's happening. It all depends on what you believe is causing the problems, if the bills are good or bad that's coming right now. If you believe the problems are caused from one thing, then it's a bad bill. If you believe their problems are caused from another thing, then it's a good bill. We'll find out who's right. That's how that works. It's called democracy. I actually disagree with you, but everyone has their indeed. That's the ultimate prize. But you can win that one from day one. In which case you still have to eat, live, help other people. And in that realm, the prize is financial independence and being able in a place to help others and to reach others. Because one way I found to reach others is live a good lifestyle. And with all the blessings you receive from God, other people will wonder, why are you so blessed? And they will start asking you. And that's another way to bring people to Christ rather than go out there with the Bible in the corner. Again, showing there are different pathways for different people to make, for their calling of God's will in their personal life, what Jesus wants for that individual and their way of getting to everyone, because Revelation, the end's not going to come until everyone around the world hears about it. It's not going to hear about it from one person or 50,000 people on the corner reading the Bible out loud. It's going to come from all different means and methods, and God has inspired each and every one of those people to deliver that message in their way for Him and His use of them in this world. So everyone's got a mission. Follow through with yours that God put you down here for. But in the meanwhile, be kind, helpful, and grateful. And that, to me, not having money to help people. If I had money to help people, I would probably help animals a lot more than I do now. Because again, everyone says, well, God created animals, he'll take care of them. Well, this is true. Now let's think this through. Did he create cats? Did he create dogs? I did a show just last night. You know who created dogs? Humans. That makes them our responsibility. You want to know who created cats? I don't think I have any lynxes. I don't think he's a bobcat, and I don't think that one's a lynx or a cougar. So yeah, they're not wild cats that God created. They are cats domesticated by humans, so therefore they're our responsibility. And it does say in the Bible, in Psalms somewhere, God will bless those that cares for the animals. So my calling obviously is for animals over humans, and that requires money, because no one gives to. What's up, Pete? No one gives money right now, especially to, as a matter of fact, today I've got to go around and do collections for cat food for the outside cats, not the inside cats. I got them covered. There's like 20 outside cats that I've spayed and neutered so they don't keep breeding. And, so I go around every now and then and say, hey, motherfuckers, I saved you too. You kick in for some cat food, motherfucker. I'm more pleasant about it than that. On here, I'll say, hey, mother, but I would go there, hey, you mind pitching up some money for some cat food for all these outside cats you guys like petting, but don't want to feed, but someone's got to, and that's me, and I ain't got the money right now, so could you kick in some? And they always do. Well, Daryl, there will be more have-nots than haves. That is all dependent on what happens now. That's another reason why I love the Economic Ninja, because he wants everyone to be wealthy. So do I. I want good people to be wealthy. I want a whole shitload of good people to be wealthy. I would love to see 50 million good people become multimillionaires in America. That would change the world. The burger caught your eye. Yeah, I'm using food, man. It seems to bring in more people, Pete. More people, around the lunchtime area or the brunch time area, right before dinner when everyone's hungry. Pop up. I've done, I did bacon the day before yesterday. I did pizza yesterday, and I did a cheeseburger today. Right on. Yeah, I saw you. I watched Ninja's show, his second or his third one. I wasn't there. I noticed you were there. I go through and check the comments to see if anyone missed anything and get rid of people. Jalapenos I could do without, but throw in some bacon and I'm in. Although, oh my God, I've been, I get on video kicks to refresh my mind and make me feel good. And I always watch videos of Sardinia, whether it's the food, the island, whatever. It's just a beautiful place. And this one happened that they show some food, and it made me recall when I was back there. And now I want to go worse because they had this bread roll lapped over and several different types of tomatoes and other things on the inside, and cooked in a open fire pizza oven to just the perfect brownness. Oh God. And then he cut it up. Oh, I'd love to be back there right now. Of course there's an after here. At least for some of us. I know there's an after for me. I know that for a fact. The rest of y'all on your own. So y'all suckers on your own. Sink or swear, bitch. Kidding. Actually, there's nothing I can do for your soul. That's on you. Exactly. Exactly, Pete. Life is full of choices and decisions. We all have choices. Choose wisely.
Okay, that's like kind of at a loss for that one, Gerald. I understand the first part of it, but then it's your family, not a sellout for which you do to best provide. Physically, yeah. On this, yeah. Financially, yeah. There's a lot of pathways. There's a lot of different entry exit points. A lot of different perspectives will get you to different areas of the entry and exit points. There's a lot, like as far as that goes. It's there's a lot of things going on, a lot of different things going on that you could really prosper off of right now in a lot of different sectors, a lot of different entry and exit points. Do your due diligence, do your own research on all of them. But yeah, as far as that bloodline thing, one thing I've actually intentionally stayed away from was my recent family in Scotland. My mom, my grandfather, my great grandfather, and great great grandfather. When I do my family research, I don't do in-depth research on them, but I go back further because I found in my studies, and I have never had this question answered, and everyone's dead now, so I can't have it answered. I have to do the research myself. But I know in Scottish royalty, they give their kids 4 names, not 3. And typically only 2. America has the 3 names. But Scottish royalty, and I'm not sure about English or Welsh royalty or Irish royalty, although Irish is probably the same. They give their kids 4 names. And my mom's name was Mary Phillipson Stevenson Sutherland. So she had 4 names. She had the Sutherland family name, the Stevenson's family name, and the Phillipson family name. And then Mary, her first name. That is sign of royal bloodline in Scotland. But I never asked them because I just assumed that because she didn't marry a McDonald, so we got kind of ostracized out of that bloodline thingy, and my cousins got a lot of money. But yeah, I think I got some royal Scottish bloodline, which is not recognized because England's still, we're not free. But I believe I'm from Scottish royalty, but a bastard of Scottish royalty because my mom didn't marry a McDonald. But one day I'll look into that. It doesn't matter though, because I can't have kids, so I can't live to marry a McDonald and breed back in. But I can make my own fortune and tell them to fuck off with their fortune. Because both my mom's sister had 2 kids. One of them owns a house in downtown Vancouver, and then the other one just sold her apartment in downtown London. They millionaires, and they didn't go to work for it. And that's why I haven't really touched on that part of the family limited their heritage, because I know I'd get too pissed off, and there's nothing I can do about it. Loch Lomond, eh? Right on. Yeah, we're from the Highlands up there with Sinclair's, Northern Scotland, Thurso area. And the islands, Isle of Skye, Isle of Man. I mean, actually, they're called Sutherlands because the Sutherland clan didn't start till like 1070 something during William the Conqueror, the King William the Conqueror. He started the Sutherland clan by giving land to the number 1 Sutherland. What's up, Pete and Repeat? So that part of the family, Scottish part of the family heritage for the Sutherland starts in the 11th century. 11th century. But the name goes to Norway for this for my in particular part of the family bloodline, which was not called Sutherland before that. After that, we all adopted the name Sutherland because we came from Norway down to one of the relatives who just got anointed with a dukeship of Sutherland, and so we all moved south to, and we called it Sutherland, even though it's the most north part of Scotland. Everyone was like, "How's the name Sutherland in the northern part of Scotland?" Hey, we didn't come from there. That was the Sutherlands from where we came, from whence we came. We moved to the Sutherlands, so we were Sutherlanders, Sutherlands. And our cousins were the Sinclairs, which were right beside to the east of our territories, Southern Highland territories, the Sinclairs. And at the same time our clan was started, the Templar Knights came along and got big shortly thereafter. But Sinclair Sinclair Sutherland were like that upon the time of the starting of the Templar Knights. Because I believe the Sinclairs also got a lot of land from William the Conqueror. So I take it by the upside down smiley face, your day wasn't all that bad? Yeah, they're in reality, after they broke up, after the Pope and the King of France went after him on Friday the 13th, 1213 or 1313, 1213, 1313, something like that. They turned into the Knights Hospitallers in Spain, and a lot of them changed from Templar to Knights Hospitallers, and then from that they went to Knights of the something else, and then eventually became Masons. Some of them, not all of them. Well, also, Pete, if you really get into the study of the Templar Knights, there is, during the time of the Inquisition of the Templar Knights, when the Pope went after him and the French king went after him, and they were torturing him and shit like that. There is, and so take this in account. They were being tortured when they said this shit. Claims were made that they had the Black Madonna and some other things, and more than one Templar was claimed to have said this. Whether or not it's actually true, yeah, the Knights of Malta. That's it, Knights of Malta. Thank you, Daryl. I knew it was Knights of something. Yeah, they became the Knights of Malta, and then from there evolved down. But it was like the Templars, the Hospitallers, Knights of Malta, and then something else, and then something else, and then they just keep evolving into something else. But they're still around. Their teachings and shit. Someone has kept it going. Someone has to know where they took that treasure. An interesting thing, I don't know the time or date. It was around the time that the Templars lost Jerusalem. There was a Norse Viking king, had a big fleet, and the Templars sent word. Sinclair was in charge of the Templars, sent word to the Norse Viking king, and the Viking king came down with his whole fleet of ships, a couple hundred. That Viking king left on horseback. It's an interesting story. Look into history. Yeah, a Viking king came down and gave Templars a couple hundred boats and then walked back to Norway from the Middle East. They must have had something real important to move that the Viking king thought was important and the Templars thought was important. Interesting piece of history if you really research the Templars. That's a good spot to look at. When it was coming, it was either the fall of Acre or the fall of Jerusalem. It was one of those holy cities where the Knights Templars were like totally fucking outnumbered and were going to get overrun, and they had to get rid of perceivably all the treasures that they held. And amazingly enough, that's when this Viking king came down with his fleet and left on horseback from the Middle East. So logic would dictate that they had a lot of treasures they took out of there on ship when they historically had no ships to do this with. Where did all their ships go? I don't know. Something to look into. Because what I said is historically proven, factual. Where the ships went, no history on that one that I found. There's speculation, but no facts. But it was a fact that some Norse Viking king, a very powerful one, gave the Templars a couple hundred ships right before one of their cities fell. So, and it wasn't to get the Templars out. It was more than enough ships to get them out. They had to get something else out, important enough to be given ships. What connection would a Viking king have with the Templars of importance enough for him to give up his personal country's navy to the Templars to use with no recourse of payment? That's a big financial step. The guy must have the gift of gab. Was able to bullshit someone into giving up couple $100 million at the time of his fleet and talk him into walking a couple thousand miles instead of sailing. Or it was of mass importance, and the dude recognized it and said, "Ooh, we cannot have the Saracens get a hold of this shit. Take my fleet and don't tell me where you're taking it. Take my fleet and take it, and I'll walk back." That's the only thing I can deduce from that factual story. But as far as where the fleet went, fuck if I know. I haven't been able to find them. It's the missing Viking king's fleet that the Templars took. So, if Paul Harvey was still alive, he'd do a story on it. He'd be like, now for the rest of the story. But I don't have the rest of the story. Still an anomaly. One of those things I'm looking at. It's a query. I just, in my spare time from research, or more like it, in my research, if I come across something, a flag goes up and I do a little research on it as I come across other information. This is typically how it works. I don't specifically look for things. I tag things in my brain of interest, and as I'm doing other things, if connections to that come up, then I'll do more research on it and I'll make more connections. It's like 2-for-1 research. You're not wasting as much time researching and you're getting twice as much information, sometimes a lot more than that. Most of the time, you're getting a lot more questions than answers there. So that's always fun. But like I've always said, if you learn a couple of things a day, 10 things a day, that's too much. 2 things a day over 365 days. What's that? We'll keep it at 350 days. Give you some time off. That's 700 new things a year. Over 10 years, that's 7,000 new things you'll learn. 7,000 new things learned. That puts you up there with college graduates and higher, as far as knowledge gained. And you can do it all yourself. Now, will it be college educational knowledge? No. It'll be life applicable knowledge. More valuable than college knowledge. College knowledge costs money. Asking questions and answering yourself costs you a little bit of time. It can be fun. Definitely learn shit. Usually learn more than what you're wanting to learn, because you have to research shit. And in the researching of shit, you learn shit. Store that knowledge. If it's interesting to you, next time you research shit, keep an eye on that shit that interested you and acquire a little bit more information on that in particular thing in your other researches. And you will be fucking knowledgeable as shit. Your kids will not want to, your grandkids will not want to come over and see you because you'll be like filling them with information. And they'll be like, shut up. We don't want to talk to you. We want to play in the pool. All right, but I got underwater speakers. That's how you get rid of the grandkids. Because you want to go in the pool. You paid for it. I'm shitty at rolling cigarettes, as you can tell. It's because I have dry hands, callous hands. That would be Uncle Pete. What's this? Let me see. Sympathetic pathways firing of left, right. Yeah, I'd appreciate if other people would look into that because I would be very interested if anyone else, because I think I've shown this before, but before I roll that cigarette. Oh, where is it? I had it readily available. Ah, there it is. My filing system. The Knights Templar. Chunky bug, get off there. You done knocked my pillow off because you're fat boot. Yeah, but see, the joints, I see that smoke go up, it's money. You see, when I light this, this is a fresh pack. I've only taken one hit off of it. Watch the smoke come out. See how it ended? You smoke a joint, it keeps burning. That's money. If you have to pay for that shit, you're literally letting money burn up. And I've never been a fan of that type of behavior. And I don't know. Motherfuckers, they hit my bowl and they'll be like, until there's a big puff of fucking smoke all around their head. Oh, I hate them motherfuckers. I don't smoke with them. I'm like, dude, you just wasted 17 fucking hits. It's not a show. It's a feeling. I'm not impressed by you wasting my weed. Nah, I don't like pipes for cigarettes, for tobacco. Here's something that you guys probably have never done, if you indeed smoke weed. Have you ever heard of a marijuana martini? They are badass. See, I didn't do that bad a job. I just got to focus because I don't do it. It's not muscle memory. I don't do it a lot. Anyhow, this is a marijuana martini. You take a straw. Well, first off, wet like a margarita glass if you have them. If not, wine glass. Get it wet. Stick it in the freezer for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Once it freezes up, you take the frozen glass. You set it down in front of you. You take a straw. Put the joint in one. You light the joint. Or you light the joint and then you stick it in, however. And then you stick that fucking straw to the bottom of that frozen glass. And you blow a shotgun slowly into that glass. And what you'll see is because of physics, science is beautiful, even as stoners. What'll happen is the temperature difference between the heat of the smoke and the coldness of the glass will make the smoke heavier because of condensation and whatnot still inside the glass. And what it'll do is it'll make it look like you're pouring a liquid in the glass, and the glass will be like this, and the smoke will rise up like water all the way to the top, and just keep pulling the straw out slowly. And you'll see the smoke kind of flow over the glass. And then you tell someone to grab it, slowly tip it over and drink it. And it acts just like water. But it also does, if you do bong hits, how they put ice in bong to cool the smoke down. It's the smoothest hit you will ever have, and a good party trick. But if people moving around you fast and shit, and there's a lot of air disturbance, it won't work. The air has to be somewhat not people, not this, because it's physics. It's a differential between hot and cold, and the density of the smoke in a smokeless, colder environment, and it causes it to act like water. It's a badass little fucking party trick. You ought to try it. It's fun. It's not that fun. It's good for parties if you want to meet a girl. That's what I used it for, anyhow. But yeah, freezing a cup. Fuck, I just smoke a bowl. I'm not into all that extra work. But it was cool to find out about it because I am into physics. And I was like, oh, badass. I was more, I like the physics of it more than the fucking weed part of that one. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a cool party trick. Not too many people know about it. It's called a marijuana margarita or a marijuana martini, whatever you want to call it. Nice. Sucking on an ice cube cools the smoke down. See, again, why I like the prototype is because there's a separate chamber right here. The bowl part's here, and then up to about this point, and then there's a resin trap, and the smoke gets in there, and it cyclones because of the shape of it. It's kind of cyclones, which kind of cools it down, and then it feeds it down from that, like it goes through here, spins and comes through here. So and because it's metal, it absorbs the heat at the same time. So it's usually a cool hit, unless you're one of these people. Then it's going to be fucking hot the whole way through. But if you just take it, it'll actually cool it down. It depends on how you hit it. You can, anyone can fuck up a wet dream. Vortex, thank you, Pete. Sometimes I use the wrong vernacular. See, I know big words. I just can't say them in the right order or for the right purpose. Sound like a mental patient be talking all of a sudden. Fuck you. You take care, Pete. And I wouldn't take a jet, man. You're going to need too much clearance. You're near an airport. I'd take the car. It's a safer option, brother. And thank you for joining and for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. But anyhow, this has been going for about 2 hours. I appreciate everyone being here on this Monday. Make sure to watch the WWE Monday Night Raw. You might get some political insights as to what's going on. There goes Jerome Powell getting body slammed. Obama just got a tsunami from a 300-pounder from the top rope. Oh. Pete, you're more than welcome, dude. Thanks for having you. Okay, I'm gonna let people in on a little secret here. Pete is a cohort in crime of one of my ideas. Well, not the whole thing. Well, as time's going on, I'm letting him know more of my idea, and he's in on the idea of us creating this new style of catamaran. And that's another reason why I need to move down to the Mobile, Alabama area, because that's where the boat building's going on. That and Pascagoula, Mississippi, Louisiana area. I really don't want to live there. I'd rather live in Alabama because it's higher ground good for year round against hurricanes. So I'd rather build in Mobile area and be in that area. But we're going to end up building a new catamaran style design and a new engine style power source here in America, in southern Alabama, hopefully within 1.5, 2 years, maybe sooner, hopefully. Say prayers. Yeah, and then this other crazy dude, Gerald, he and I are in another business together as well. Not a business yet, but the process of starting, getting everything organized. Because the more you have things laid out in advance, the better things work later. It's a plan of attack. I have a plan of attack for the catamaran business and getting it launched, and I have a plan of attack for the other business, and how to get it launched. The one I don't have is a plan of attack for the business I got to launch, which is the Lightning Crystal one. That's the one I don't have down. That's why I got to do it. Take care, Gerald. Yes, I do, Gerald. I just need good people that want to, that can see my vision and want to be a part of it and enjoy the money that'll come. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I want to make a lot of people rich. In doing so, I'll make myself rich. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of projects. I can't do them all. I can get them started, but I can't stay with them because some of them, I just can't. I just can't. I need to get good people that'll help, because these are some good long-term businesses, industries. One, the mobile bee industry is an industry that I've got to create. It's going to take, in 10 years, thousands of people that will be in and on it. So right now there's only me and Pete and Gerald. I mean, that's one of those things. That's a long-term investment, long-term payoff. Because last time someone changed up the bee industry was a gentleman with the last name Langstroth, and that was about 165 years ago, and we still using his shit today. So it's a long-lived business, good 100 years anyhow, longer than I'll be alive, a lot longer. And that's just one of them. I'm hoping the boat business does nearly as well. And I don't know about the other one. It'll probably do well also. But anyhow, muhaha. Any other subject we want to talk about? Or you want me to talk about, or you want to enlighten the crowd about? Or you want my opinion on? I don't know why you want that, but you might. Let's see. New stuff is people fixing to get arrested because paperwork's already been turned over to the Justice Department. Now, the weird thing is, and you guys might want to check this out, is it a normal procedure for the National Security Advisor to turn over documents to the Justice Department, or is that not a normal procedural way of handling these things? Because if it's not a normal procedural way, then something's off. But if that is the normal procedural way, then that knocks out a couple of conspiracies I'm thinking of. But I don't want to mention because they're actually conspiracies. But if everyone up to the first husband and wife, or husband and husband, first President Obama and the first man, anything up to them, those guys will probably get arrested. Like two of them, his heads of national security and head of the CIA at the time, have already had documents turned over to the Justice Department. They will be have their day in court. There's some slick motherfuckers. There's a lot of skeletons. They know a lot of where a lot of bodies are buried. So I don't know if they'll actually get prosecuted or not. If they are prosecuted, it will be interesting. Because before they get prosecuted, what you got to do is you need to study, and you can do this. the breakdown of all the mafia busts. Trump's first term, he busted, him and the Italian government busted all 16 Italian family mafia heads, all of them, even the Colombo family in New York. No one talked about it. A lot of them went to jail for short periods of time. They're already out. Mafia bosses, the heads of families, went to jail and are already out. A couple of them got books. I know you guys probably haven't heard about it, but what you need to do is you need to look at that court cases of those guys, those head honchos, family leaders of these mafia families, and ask yourself why they only spend like 5 or 6 years in jail. Who did they turn over to get such little time in jail is the question. Now, those are only mafia families. They only have a certain amount of information. Presidents and national security and CIA heads, they're a little deeper. So the trash, they know where it's buried, is a lot more. So I wouldn't imagine them staying in jail for long because they have a lot of information on others, which would mean more people go to jail, which would lead to the reason why Warren Buffett said 3 years ago that he is selling his Apple stock, I think it was, when he was heavily invested in, and buying Geo Groups. And I did a couple of videos on that, telling people, Warren Buffett's invested in Geo Groups, and this was like second year of Biden. And everyone's like, whatever. You know, because Geo Group makes money off of putting people in jail. And everyone knew no one was going to jail. And I was like, yeah, they want you to think no one's going to be going to jail. The richest man in fucking America is investing in a company that makes money off of people putting in jail. And he always invests early. Just off of that knowledge alone, you should know that a lot of people are going to go to jail. Now, if they are already taking these illegal aliens and putting them in another country and having another country jail them, Geo Groups might not be profiting off that. I think Geo Groups will profit off of Americans going to jail, which leads to a cool looking future if it is indeed that future. We shall see. And on that note, I am going to end this stream. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate your time. I hope that everyone is kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy some silver and some platinum and some crystallized osmium. And have a great week. Till next one.
Peace out.